Hi folks, and welcome back to my shop. This episode we're going to talk about balsa strippers. A lot of times you need custom size stringers that you may not be able to get down to the hobby shop, or they don't have it, or you'd have to order it. Well, a lot of times you can make these yourself, and the way you do it is with one of these devices. Okay. We've got two we're going to talk about today. The first one is the Master Airscrew Balsa Stripper. It's basically made, it's a plastic material. And the way it works is, as you can see, the blade is attached on this side. And if you notice, the blade is set to where it's just slightly below the runner, okay? And that's easily adjustable with two screws. And then you have your adjustment over here. And the way you find your width, let's say we wanted to do 1/4 by 1/8, which this is 1/8 inch balsa. I would just measure from the blade over, and we're right on 1/4 there, okay? And the way you use this is pretty simple, okay? Basically what you do is you hold the piece of wood down, move it over a little bit where you can see it, and then you place this surface against the wood, flat, okay, and then you just run the stripper down. Okay, now my blade was a little low, but that's okay, it came out okay. So you may need to take a time or two to adjust it to get it right. But that's the Master Airscrew stripper. They're readily available. You can find them at the hobby shop, order them online. They're relatively inexpensive, so I usually keep a couple in the shop just because they do occasionally break, okay? Now, if you need to go thicker, or thicker wood than, say, 1/8, I would recommend getting on eBay or getting on the internet. They don't sell these anymore, but tracking down an Xacto balsa stripper, okay? And the way this works is there's an edge along here that butts up, that's going to follow the contour of your wood, okay? And so the piece of metal butts up against the side of the wood. Now the downside of this is you can only cut up to about a 5/16 wide piece. But, if you're having to do thicker stock, like 1/4 by 1/4, this is a good way to do it. Now, the way this works is you take a large handle with a number 7 blade, and it just sticks down in there like this, okay? So to make this work, all we do is move this out of the way, is we just set this guy down on here, butt the metal edge up against the wood, slide the knife down in there, okay? And I usually just hold my finger where the knife goes in, and then I hold the wood, and then you just slide it along there, and presto, look at that. You got a nice clean cut. Both of these strippers work well for hobby use. There are larger strippers, and usually if you get into real thick wood, you want to strip those on your saw. Also, these really only work with balsa. Don't try and use them with any other kind of wood. But it's quite handy if you need to strip some planking, which we could talk about that another time, or if you need to strip some stringers, you don't have any handy, and you need to make some. No need to go to the hobby shop or order them. You can make them yourself now with these strippers. So that is the Master Airscrew balsa stripper and the Xacto balsa stripper. I'll show you the Xacto pack. It's kind of old and decrepit, but you may be able to find one. I found one online not too long ago. It's number 7048 there. I think you can see it. But that's what it looks like, okay? And like I said, for thinner wood up to 1/8, I would use the master air screw. For thicker, I would use the Xacto stripper. Well, that's going to wrap it up, folks, for this episode. I appreciate you following along with these videos. And if you have any ideas about a tool you'd like to see, leave me a note in the comments, and I'll do my best to try and get it on video for you. Okay? All right, then. Well, just remember when you're building to measure twice and cut once. See ya.